Hi, my name is Jocelyn and I'm a diva. I'm sure you're wondering how someone like me, an everyday activist off the streets of New York, could become something as exalted and infamous as a diva. In case you didn't know, DIVA stands for Damned Interfering Video Activist.
DIVA is an affinity group of ACT UP, the AIDS coalition to unleash power.
It's as easy as recognizing that the dominant media does not reflect your lives and your world, is not responding accurately to the AIDS crisis, does not imagine you as a part of the audience which it addresses every night, and does not provide the information and issues that will empower you and others to take control of your lives. Being a diva is as easy as grabbing a video camera, a camcorder, an 8mm, a high 8, whatever, and recording the activism in your neighborhood. It means filling the gaps which are intentionally left blank in traditional representations of AIDS. It means showing people who are taking collective action to end the AIDS crisis. It means showing people living with AIDS and fighting for their lives. It means banishing the myth of unbiased reporting and believing that the communities most affected by the AIDS crisis, lesbians and gay men, people of color, and women, are the real experts and should be allowed to speak as the real authorities about their own lives. Here in New York, DIVA has functioned as an affinity group of ACT UP. ACT UP began in 1987 at the recognition that collective action was needed to fight government indifference to and media misrepresentation of the AIDS crisis. Their major demonstration and civil disobedience at Wall Street in March 1987 marked a historical moment of political resistance. Since then, ACT UP has participated in literally hundreds of actions. They have sat on congressional panels on drug testing, they have forced companies to lower the price of available AIDS drugs, and insurance companies to create responsible policies. They have acted up against the inadequate and discriminatory public health policies, lack of housing for homeless people with AIDS, inadequate AIDS reporting, insufficient and often incorrect safe-sex education in our schools, and against racist, sexist, and homophobic responses to the AIDS crisis. The success of ACT UP can be marked not only by its huge growth in New York, but also by the fact that there are now over 40 other ACT UP organizations around the world. DIVA TV began in 1989 to record the second anniversary action of ACT UP New York at City Hall. We have just kept going ever since then. We don't just document the demonstrations of ACT UP, we are a part of them. We use video cameras to protect activists from police violence, especially activists who have decided to commit civil disobedience and get arrested. During demonstrations, we talk to activists about how they feel about getting arrested and why they're putting their bodies on the line and why they feel that political action is absolutely necessary. We follow up on the people who get arrested and monitor the responses of the government, the media, and the medical industry. We educate and empower each other with finished tapes, which include public service announcements that teach safe sex and AIDS activism.
Again, locking arms. It's painful, and that force of resistance that you're providing can be used against you.
If you're going to facilitate a situation that legitimates me using force, then you're getting into the balance of power that's already established, because I'm holding a nightstick and a gun, and you've got your principles.
Okay, take them. Start the chat. Take them. Okay, hold on.
This is no time for shaking hands. This is no time for backslapping. This is no time for marching bands. This is no time for optimism. This is no time for endless thought. This is no time for my country, right or wrong. Remember what that brought. There is no time. There is no time. There is no time. There is no time. This is no time for congratulations. This is no time to turn your back. This is no time for circumlocution. This is no time for learning speech. This is no time to count your blessings. This is no time to pride living. This is a time to put up or shut up.
I'm here because people with AIDS live in the streets in New York City, and that's the policy of this administration. It's not a mistake. It's the way Koch has it set up. And we're here to say if they're going to live in the streets, we're going to block the streets too.
This is no time to swallow anger. This is no time to ignore hate. This is no time to get up and with lust. The time is getting to be right. This is no time for fighting the dead. This is no time to know who you are. Self-knowledge is a dangerous thing, the freedom of who you are. This is no time.
And I'm here today because the city is doing shit about education for youngsters, for teenagers, and for women in New York City. We need this education, we need this information, and actually the city has it, and they're sitting on it.
There is no time. This is no time to turn away and drink or smoke some vials of crack. This is a time to gather force and take dead aim and attack. This is no time for celebration. This is no
I have to have something to do with my anger. And so many of my friends have died, and so many people I love are sick with AIDS, that I just have to have something to do with my anger. And ACT UP is a really wonderful thing to do with my anger, because I feel like somebody must be seeing this many people on the streets who make some policy decisions about money for AIDS in New York City.
Just being out is not enough. People have to be fighting for the things that we need and that other people in the city need. We're here because 11,200 people have died because this was labeled a gay disease and nobody cared. And the people dying are not just gay men and lesbians, but other people in the city, blacks and Latins and women and kids. We're here to demand access to quality health care. We don't want any more violence against people. We want the state legislature to pass the hate crimes bill, which they won't, just because it includes sexual orientation as a bias category, which means that not only aren't we protected, but then blacks aren't protected, and Latins aren't protected, and women aren't protected, and Jews aren't protected because of the homophobia of the state legislature. We're here to say we're going to take our liberation. And we're going to take the things that we know we need and that other people in the city need, and we're going to work with others to do that. And we're not going to let one community be pitted against another, because we're members of every one of those communities.
Dykes and fags are here to say we have gay pride every day. Dykes and fags, I'm Blaine Mosley from ACT UP, and we're here to take the streets for gay pride every day, not just once a year.
Today is not the parade. What is this?
This is in memory of Stonewall. We're taking the streets and we're taking ourselves from the ghetto and our issues uptown to the rally.
Hi, I'm Marion. I'm a dyke. I'm mad at New York City, but I love my community. This is the best weekend of the whole year, and we're marching into the whole city so that they have to deal with us. We're not going away. We're mad. Fight back. Fight AIDS. ACT UP. Fight back. Fight AIDS. ACT UP. Fight back. Fight AIDS.
I think they have a perfect right to do this, but it's the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen.
Strangers in the night, exchanging numbers.
Why are you here?
Oh, I'm here because I'm queer.
What are we doing?
We're marching uptown to the rally, the Gay Pride rally. Because the Gay Pride Committee, which is HOP, totally screwed it up again this year. And like the AIDS crisis, they like ignore it. They're like in a fairy tale world. You know, they're like everything is beautiful and Koch is beautiful and the city's beautiful, and they kiss ass to get what they want. And we're not doing that anymore. We're tax-paying citizens. We're not second-class citizens. And these are our streets, and that's our park.
Why? Because I'm gay, and I'm proud, and I'm just so full of love that I can't stand still. That's all. We say bye-bye. 2, 4, 6, 8. How you know the Rockettes are straight? 2, 4, 6, 8. How you know the Rockettes are straight? 2, 4, 6, 8. How do you know the Rockettes are straight?
I didn't know what it was. That's what, you know, they have a perfect right to do this if that's what they want to do.
Do you have any opinion about this march today?
Never seen anything like this in Rochester, New York. We're from out of town, and it's startling. See so many all in one place.
This is the happiest day of my life. No shit. Why? Because I'm on the street with a bunch of people I know and I love, and we're walking up Fifth Avenue, and I mean, it's just all here. It's a one-stop shop.
To each his own.
That's right.
That's right.
Can't go against your nature.
We are natural history. 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 We are natural history.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, no. We don't have things like that in Europe, in France or anywhere else in Europe.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
We are political people by the very nature of our being, because our entire society is constructed to deny our existence. And we have to, with every fiber of our being, assert that it's their problem, not ours.
Stonewall, and the spirit of fighting back is still alive and well in this community. And we have work to do. It's time we, this gay and lesbian generation, reinvented the gay liberation wheel. Act up! Fight back! Fight AIDS! The rights and flags are here to stay. We have gay pride every day. The rights and flags are here to stay. We have gay pride every day. The rights and flags are here to stay. We have gay pride every day. The rights and flags are here to stay. Where's your badge? Where's your badge? Where's your badge? Where's your badge? Where's your badge?
Hello. How many people is that?
healthcare system's a disaster. People are dying on the streets, and the mayor keeps passing the buck to state and federal government. It's a city problem. AIDS is everyone's problem. It affects the healthcare system, and that affects everyone. That's why I'm here. I think it's about time I put my body on the line.
How do you feel?
I feel good. It's a nice day. It's warm. It's a good group. Lots of energy. I feel great.
Pretty scared, but being HIV positive, I don't have much choice in the matter. And I'm doing this for everybody I know and for myself. That's all I have to say.
I just love all these people, and I think that what we're doing is really right. And I mean, listen to this and look at all the people. It's just really wonderful, and it's worth putting myself on the line for.
There is no accurate diagnosis. There are incentives in the city hospitals not to diagnose people with AIDS, and therefore people don't get treated. We are angry at the way this city has handled this crisis, and we demand that Ed Koch exert leadership and declare a state of emergency.
Get out of here.
Because it's knowing that people who you know because of practices that they're engaging in, and because there's no education in other parts of the nation, knowing that people who I know now probably aren't even going to make it past 30.
Up a little bit, I'm sorry. What does it mean? Share, Kathy has extra rollers. Creator homosexuals expounding resolutions. Cute hunks examining reality. So I'm a little nervous.
To petition City Hall, I mean, just their handling of the crisis.
So what's the plan for Share?
We're not sure yet. We're discussing that right now.
Then it doesn't get done until we want it, which is a possibility. We could say, sure, we want to do it in the street now with CD9, or wait. Those are the options. Go in the street now with CD9, or wait. 1. He says go. 2 now. Says now. 3. 3. Tom. Go now, Tom says. 4. 4 says now. 5 says now. 6. Now, if you won't want to go, say no. Don't feel frightened about it. 7. Says now. 8. 9 now. 13 now. 15. Where are you aiming?
Oh, yeah. Well, my objection is that, you know, it's going to be the first, like, kind of outrageous thing that's going to happen. We're going to put ourselves in a position of possible physical danger and harassment by these cops. I would love to see, like, more cameras or something, you know, for our own protection. So when we go up there, they don't fucking, like, charge us with nightsticks and pull us off the street.
Okay, so did everyone hear his concern? That he just thought that we should wait a little bit because we need a little more people, a little more media coverage, because he's afraid that if we're the first ones, the cop may decide to take it out on us. Let's keep going down the row. 16.
I say now, I think that's going to be the media coverage. As soon as we get out there, the media will be there.
16 says now, media will show when we show. 17. Billy's now. 18. Now. 18 says now. 19.
Now.
19 says now. 20.
Sitting down and we're going to be resisting like that it's going to take time enough for the media to get there.
Exactly. Because we're sitting down and we're resisting, it's going to take some time anyway. Jeff, we're going to have to decide what to do with them.
21.
What do we got? Keep going.
21.
Now.
21 says now. 22.
He's not getting arrested. I'm a chicken.
23. Amanda says now. 24. 24 says now. 25
now with no reservation.
26. Now. 27.
I'm here.
And 28.
We're 17.
Okay, we still have.
How do you feel? How do you feel?
Ready. Yes. Ready as I'll ever be.
Oh, you are here, Bill.
Send a support
What?
Can we send one support person to get more media people so that Amy feels more comfortable?
Yeah. Okay, wait. He still expressed a concern about our safety with the cops. Is there anyone else who feels that being the first group, we may be in danger of more violence than usual?
I think because the media is here, the chances are, we talked before, there's less chance of being attacked by the cops.
Because all eyes are going to be on us, and they seem to have a very passive stance right now, and it's just perfect time. Lock arms like this in single file and walk out into the street.
I feel wonderful.
Are you getting arrested?
Yes.
Is it your first time?
Just get arrested, yeah.
Psych.
I'm having psychic
You should
communication.
break your arms when the cops are pulling you.
Which way do we face?
Okay, we're gonna go. Right. Okay, which way do we face, girlfriends? This way or that way? That way.
Set me on the curb, and then they left me there, and I was humiliated. They didn't.
You know, the whole part of being on the street was sort of a blur, and all of a sudden there were all these cameras, and I didn't really know what to do with them, and we were sort of screaming, and then we were being dragged, and being dragged, I kept forgetting that I was supposed to not walk. Not knowing to walk was sort of a strange thing to feel, and I didn't know who was behind me. I didn't know how I was going to get anywhere, but
there for about 5 of the most pleasant hours I could ever imagine spending in such an ugly, dark, gross building surrounded by so many unsympathetic people. But in the end, even a cop confessed that he enjoyed our rousing rendition of Age of Aquarius. And
jail was like the high school that we never had, perhaps. Lots of sort of camp songs and camp jokes and camp personalities to make it all right. Jail was miserable.
I was actually surprised at how quick everything went, and that the cops in general are very nice, except for the women cops who were incredibly snotty to the women in the groups, like sassing them. I mean, everyone was sort of trying to be as polite as possible, but every once in a while you'd ask a question like, why am I strip searched and men aren't? And they'd say, shut your face. It was really weird. He asked me, he was interviewing me while I was being semi-dragged away, and said, but you're willing to get arrested for this? I was like, sure, come on, people are dying. There's no AIDS care in this city. I'll let them drag me across the street a few times. I don't care.
Do you want to have sex? Wrap it up. Don't forget your latex. Wrap it up.
What's a dental dam? A dental dam is a latex barrier used during oral sex to prevent the transmission of HIV, the virus that leads to AIDS. Where do I get one? I'm glad you asked. Well, you could get one at the Gay and Lesbian Community Center or a dental supply store. Isn't there a more convenient place? I'm glad you asked. You could get one at a drugstore or your nearest deli. A dental dam in a deli? Well, not exactly. What's this? This is a condom. A latex condom? Yes. Well, it's not a dental dam. No, but we can make it one. How? Let me show you. See? Maybe wipe off your hands. You cut this end and this end. I see. Here. Then cut it up the middle. Exactly. I see. See? It needs a new name, but this is it. A dental dam. Exactly.